Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Krsnatarian way of cooking. So today I'm going to share with you a very exotic looking recipe which is made from flat rice noodles. Now this flat rice noodles is also called as Pad Thai noodles in the Thai country, and they are very famous there. This dish has a combination of lots of veggies which is cooked very nicely and gently in the Asian spices and sauces. On seeing this, you're already knowing that this is a gourmet dish, and after watching this recipe completely, you will know how easy it is. I will be also sharing the link of these noodles in the description below if you want to purchase it online. So without wasting any time, let's proceed towards the recipe. First, in a bowl or a big plate like this, add a cup of vital wheat gluten. Now if you do not have this or don't want to use this, then you can just follow the link at the right hand side corner, top corner of the seitan recipe, and you can just prepare that at home. I'm going to make this a little different, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to this vital wheat gluten and also add around a tablespoon of soybean flour. Now this is optional if you want to make the seitan in this manner. If you do not want to do it like this, then just make the seitan at home with the wheat flour recipe which I have shown before. I will put the link in the description for both the flours. So now mix everything well and then gradually add cold water to this mixture and bind it. Make sure to add around quarter cup of water each time and try to bind it. The idea behind using quarter cup at a time is so that the dough doesn't turn too soft. This will all bind quickly because it's all gluten. So after binding it nicely, I will keep the dough aside, and in a medium saucepan, I will put some water to boil. Take little pieces from the gluten and add one by one into this water. Now if you're using that homemade seitan recipe which I have shared on the channel, at that time you do not have to add all the spices in the seasoning, but also make sure that you add salt while boiling it. Now cover and cook it on low heat. Here water is boiling, and in this water I'm going to add the pad thai or the flat rice noodles. It's around 500 grams. Just for 1 minute you have to cook it because they easily get cooked. Now once they are soft, then remove it in a bowl and then wash them one time and then keep them in a bowl of cold water like this. Now check up on the seitan. Because that seitan has soybean flour, so it will only take around 10 minutes to cook. So this looks cooked. I will turn off the stove and keep this entire thing aside along with the water. We need the water. So now in a wok, I am going to empty all the noodles. Now in these noodles, I will be adding around a teaspoon of salt and then around 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. This helps the noodles to not get too soggy. So adding oil and salt will be useful. Like this, just make sure to separate it well. And now cover with a lid and keep it aside. Now I will show you which all vegetables I am using. So here I have some bok choy. This is usually used in Asian cooking. Then I have celery, green bell peppers, carrots and French beans. You can also use broccoli. I did not have broccoli, so I'm not using it. So first I'll be adding the carrots and the beans, then the bok choy, and then after that these two vegetables. I kept the pot on heat and added around 2 tablespoons of sesame oil and then reduce the heat to low. And then I'll first add the carrots and the beans in it. Make sure to cook everything on low heat. So because my pot was already nice and hot, it started cooking right away. Mix everything nicely. Now for the oil which I have used is white sesame oil. You can use black sesame oil. You can use even olive oil if you want to. Now add 1 teaspoon of white pepper powder. You can even use black pepper powder if you do not have that. Mix everything well. Make sure that the white pepper coats the vegetables well. Now add the bok choy. Now this bok choy I have added is around a handful of it. You can take the vegetables in the quantity you desire. Now you have added here around 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, and then I used around 2 tablespoons of sweet soy sauce. Now sweet soy sauce is very easy to make at home. I just used dark soy sauce equal quantity with the brown sugar and cooked it on low heat until it thickened completely. I'll also try to share link in the description for the sweet soy sauce if I find any safe and good one. And you can just recheck the ingredients. So here I have added around a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt. Now the soy sauce already has salt, so make sure that you use proper discrimination to add the salt as per taste. Now I added around a tablespoon of chili flakes. Now I'm going to mix everything well. Remember to keep the heat on low. You do not want the vegetables to be cooked too much. Now I'll cover it and just cook it for a minute. Now I'm going to add the remaining vegetables, that are the celery and the green bell pepper, which is also called as capsicum. Now in this I'm going to add the seitan which was cooked with the water all together in it. Mix everything well. Here I am going to let the seitan cook with the sauce for a minute to 2. Now in this bowl I am going to add around 1 cup of water. With that 1.5 tablespoon of cornstarch. So the purpose of using the cornstarch is so that you get a nice consistency, like syrup consistency for the sauce. If you have used a little bit more water or extra cornstarch, always you can water it down. So make sure that the consistency is exactly how it looks in the video. I'm going to whisk it well because cornstarch usually settles down. So just whisk it well and right away add it into the sauce mixture. Don't worry, in the beginning it may look like it is watery, but as the cornstarch cooks with the sauce, it will thicken. You already see it's thickening. So everything has to be on low heat. This is the desired consistency we require for the sauce. Once it reaches the right consistency, then you may turn off the stove. Time to deal with the rice noodles. Now again I am going to add a teaspoon of sesame oil mixed with 2 tablespoons of water, and then I will add to this mixture. The idea is adding up the flavor to the rice noodles and also having it nice and separated. Now in a serving plate, I'm going to first place the noodles, and then on top of that going to add the sauce. Always prepare the sauce and the noodles separately because mixing right away the sauce with the noodles will make the entire thing very soggy after a while, and then you cannot heat it up. So this is how the consistency of the sauce needs to be. The sauce easily goes into the noodles. The noodle maintains its mild flavor, and then there is sauce on top. It just gives a complete perfect combination. Now on top of this, I am going to also garnish some parsley leaves. Now if you do not have parsley, then you can use cilantro, which is also known as coriander leaves. So this offering is ready. I'm going to place a tulsi leaf and offer it at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna. Arya, you want some noodles? Arya, you want some noodles?